No. Could I have a second for Councillor Des Thomas, please?
Yeah, I'd like to second the nomination.
Okay. All those in favour of Councillor Des Thomas, please say aye.
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 Yes.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is the election of deputy presiding member for the 2021-22 municipal year.
Chair, could I move Councillor Jan Curtis, please? And Chair, could I ask, your microphone is very quiet.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other nominations? If not, do I have a seconder, please, for Councillor Jan Curtis?
Can I second, please, presiding member Jan Curtis?
Thank you. All in favour, please say aye.
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 Anyone against? Any abstentions? If not, please do say that Councillor Jan Curtis, you're duly elected as deputy presiding member.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Jan. Okay, item 3 is apologies for absence. Mr. Evans?
I have apologies from Councillors Elliot King, Alison Pugh, Cyril Anderson and Bev Hopkins.
I also have apologies from Peter Jones.
Chair, can I cancel my apologies? I didn't think I'd be able to make it, but I am here.
And can I add apologies from Councillor Gibbard, please?
Okay. Are there any other apologies? No, not. Thank you. Item 4, disclosures of personal and prejudicial interests. Are there any?
Presiding member, if I can just come in there.
Yes.
I circulated an email yesterday in relation to agenda item 8, which is the Constitutional Matters Report for 2021-2022. There is reference to councillor remuneration within that report. You would in normal circumstances have both a personal and a prejudicial interest, but the Code of Conduct exempts you from having that prejudicial interest. So I will take a block declaration from all councillors present for a personal interest only in relation to agenda item 8, which is the constitutional matters. So if you'd either like to raise your virtual hand or your physical hand, I will ensure that the Head of Dem Services records a personal interest declaration for all councillors present. And remember to fill in the form, please.
Okay, thank you. Officer, thank you. And yes, please remember fill in the relevant form. Okay, thank you everyone. Item 5 is to approve and sign the minutes of the previous meeting as a correct record, pages 1 to 15. Page 2, 3, 4 and 5.
Move, Chair.
Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. There are a couple of sets of minutes there. Okay, the correct record. Seconded. Yes. All happy with that? Thank you. Okay, thank you. On to item 6 then, the announcements of the presiding member, head of paid service. Head of paid service does not have any announcements. I have one pleasing announcement today. We're not beginning with commiserations. It's a pleasing announcement, and I'd like to congratulate new councillor Hannah Lawson of the Castle Electoral Ward and Councillor Matthew Jones of the Lawson Electoral Ward on the recent elections for City and County of Swansea, following the by-elections on the 6th of May. So welcome to your first meeting. Can we see you, please?
if you press to speak, you will show up with the video for us all to see you. That's what the chair is asking.
Just would be nice to put a face to a name.
Hi, I'm Councillor Hannah Lawson, elected to Castle Ward last week. I'm so privileged to be representing such a great ward. I'd like to extend all of my thanks to everybody who's helped me campaign, everybody in the Labour group who's been really fantastic under some very difficult circumstances, and also a huge thank to all of the staff at all of the polling stations and the returning officers for being so professional in such unusual and slightly challenging times. So huge thanks, and I'm really looking forward to working with all my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. You're very welcome. Matt?
Yep. Hi everybody, Matt Jones here, Llansamlet Ward. Yeah, just like to say how privileged I am as well to be elected to the Llansamlet Ward. And again, massive thanks to all the polling staff and the counters and the Dem services for all their hard work 2 weeks ago. Can't wait to get going, and already have got going with such a hard-working team. So be lovely to meet you all in person at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future. Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Matt. We hope we will. Yeah, these are very unusual times. I think this is possibly the first time we've welcomed new members via this format. It's certainly different than being, in the council chamber where everyone is able to see one another and to welcome you in the usual way. So anyway, welcome to the City and County of Swansea. I hope you enjoy your term of office. I'm sure you will, and I'm sure your residents in your respective wards will be grateful to have you there. Okay, thank you very much. The only other announcement I've got is a correction/amendment to council summons, and it's on item 8, constitutional matters. Appendix E, member champion areas and responsible councillors, and that is Councillor Walton is the councillor champion for diversity. Okay, and Councillor Erica Kirchner is the councillor champion for domestic abuse. Okay. I've also got an Appendix G, Council Bodies Diary. The council meeting scheduled for the 3rd of June is to be removed from the diary as there is insufficient business. Okay. All council questions submitted will be rolled over until the council on the 1st of July. Okay, everyone clear? We're cancelling the 3rd of June meeting for insufficient business. Okay, that concludes my announcements. Next item is names of councillors. Of the leader of the council is chosen to be members of the cabinet. It's for information. Leader, do you want to say anything on this?
Yeah, if I may, Chair, and can I first, before I announce the cabinet, join you in also welcoming Councillor Matthew Jones and Councillor Hannah Lawson to the chamber virtually, and obviously to the Labour group. I think they both did incredibly well, and we're very proud of them in terms of how they performed in the election, and I know they will be outstanding councillors for their respective wards. So welcome both. In terms of cabinet, I have some changes to announce this evening, Chair, if that's okay. So in terms of the portfolios, if I run through them, and obviously as usual, Mr. Evans will circulate the slides showing the updated changes in the next few days. So the cabinet for the forthcoming year will be leader for economy, finance and strategy portfolio, myself. The deputy leader will be, joint deputy leader, sorry, will be Councillor David Hopkins for delivery and operations, and Councillor Andrea Lewis, whose portfolio will change slightly to climate change and service transformation. And very pleased that Andrea is picking up the full climate change obligations, and obviously we'll be working closely with Welsh Government, with the new Welsh Government Minister, Julie James, for climate change. I'm also very pleased to welcome Mark Childs back to the Cabinet as Cabinet Member for Adult Care and Community Health Services, and also welcome Councillor Robert Smith as the new Education Improvement, Learning and Skills Cabinet Member. Councillor Elliot King will continue in Children's Services, and Councillor Mark Thomas will continue in Environment Enhancement and Infrastructure Management. Councillor Robert Francis Davis will continue in investment, regeneration and tourism. Councillor Andrew Stevens will continue in business improvement and performance. And Councillors Alison Pugh and Louise Gibbard will continue to share the role of Cabinet Member for Supporting the Communities. And can I say how pleased I am that Swansea, having led the campaign for job share to be something implemented for and available to political members, that has now been passed with the Welsh Government bill and will become a formal part of the arrangements from the next electoral term. So very pleased to see Swansea leading the way on that. Can I also, as members will note from my announcements, pay tribute to the two Cabinet members who are leaving Cabinet. Both are stepping down for their own personal reasons. If I turn first to Councillor Jen Rayner, members will know Councillor Rayner has been a driving force in education since taking up the post in 2014. Councillor Rayner has overseen a sustained period of improvement in education, as well as the biggest ever investment and rebuilding programme that Swansea has seen, improving facilities for children across Swansea. I'm hugely proud of the work that Councillor Rayner and the team have done, and Councillor Rayner should be rightly proud of the impact that she has made on the educational opportunities of children across Swansea. Likewise, Councillor Clive Lloyd, who was previously Deputy Leader and has held other Cabinet positions, has decided to step down from the adult care and health services portfolio, having obviously led that portfolio through one of the most difficult and trying times in our history through the pandemic. Councillor Lloyd has led with distinction and has played a major part in ensuring vulnerable people in our communities have been kept safe and obviously supported during the pandemic period. And again, I would pay tribute to Councillor Lloyd in terms of the impact that he has made as Deputy Leader and as Cabinet Member during his time here. I know both Jen and Clive will continue to be active members of this council and continue to work tirelessly for their respective communities as St Thomas and Dunvant, and I wish them both well. So, Chair, with that, can I thank you for your indulgence, and that concludes my announcements.
Leader. Takes us then to item 8 on our agenda, constitutional matters 2021-2022. Mr. Evans.
Okay, this is me. Thank you very much. It is a lengthy, but you'll be pleased to know that I'm going to go through it in detail so you fully know what I've got to say. Only joking there. It sets out the basic, the legislative framework that you need to follow as the council. It sets out, to ask you to note what the IRP asks for. It discusses the senior salaries that we're looking to pay, sets out the council bodies we're looking to establish, the number of seats allocated to those, etc. I've got nothing specific to add, save to note the amendments raised by the presiding member in relation to the councillor champions, and also to note that there have been some further amendments submitted by the political group leaders in relation to councillors sitting on committees, etc. So they will all appear in a minute. Other than that, nothing to add.
Okay, are there any members wish to add anything? Any questions? No, one is indicated. Thank you very much.
Okay, I have just launched the vote then, so if I can ask you all press against or abstain button. If the vote doesn't appear, don't worry, I will come to you and ask for a verbal vote in a couple of seconds. For the new councillors, please remember to choose your vote and then press the submit button after it. Okay. Has anybody not received the online vote? Raise your virtual hands, that would help me.
Go.
See, Councillor Bev Hopkins, how do you wish to vote? Councillor Hopkins, are you voting? Oh, that's gone. Okay, Councillor Wendy Fitzgerald.
4.
Here we can't hear anything.
No.
Hugh, you're on mute.
No. You can't hear us at all, no?
We can now.
Can you do now?
We
Yeah.
can now.
Okay. Sorry, I was just, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Matthew Jones, are you voting for? Nay.
4, please.
Okay. Councillor Eric Kirshner,
A 4.
Councillor Joe Hale,
4.
Councillor Gordon Walker,
4.
Councillor Nick Davis,
4 if my vote hasn't been recorded, but I'm not sure if it has because it jumps about when I try to submit. So I'm not trying to vote twice.
Okay, any other councillor unable to vote? No? Okay, I shall close the vote now. Give me a moment. Yeah, that's unanimous, Chair. 4.
Okay, thank you. That's unanimous. Item 9, amendments to the council constitution, pages 47 to 90. Mr. Evans again.
So I'll take this report.
Sorry,
Thank
Tracy.
you. I will be similarly brief. This is a for information report, just updating council as to amendments that I've made to the Constitution as Monitoring Officer in line with the Local Government Elections Wales Act 2021 and following a change of delegation in relation to the Commons Registration Authority. I don't intend to go through them. They are quite lengthy amendments in some respects. Just drawing to your attention the main one, which is that the Audit Committee will now become the Governance and Audit Committee, and it has additional functions which are set out at page 50. And then just to highlight that the Senedd has, in the legislation, agreed that councils in Wales can continue to meet remotely. It is a piece of work that myself and the Head of Dem Services will be undertaking in the forthcoming weeks, if not months, in terms of making sure that we have appropriate arrangements in place. We are awaiting some further Welsh Government guidance around remote attendance. It's called multi-location meeting guidance. Once we have that guidance, we will be looking at further changes to the Constitution, and we will bring a further report back to both Council and probably to the Democratic Services Committee as well. But I have nothing further to say. It is simply a for information report.
Okay, thank you, Monitoring Officer. Are there any questions of the Monitoring Officer? No, no one's indicating. Thank you very much. That was for information. And that all remains is to affix the common seal, the first and only time we do it, the annual occurrence. Okay, agree, we fix the common seal, everyone? Say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
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 Thank you all for your attendance. The next council meeting will be on the 1st of July.